Mr.
Professional, like,
Right.
and he just goes, "Hey, how you doing?"
Walk across
It's
the
my
stage.
only chance to get on camera, damn it.
Okay, yeah,
All right, anyway.
yeah.
Hey,
But
listen, Mike, look, we've only got 3 minutes or thereabouts left with you, so I think it's important for us to talk about one of your newest productions, and that is your Breathe Infinity program. It's both a show and a curriculum on how to live healthier. We've got to have you back when we have more time with you to talk about how cannabis can be infused into a program like that. But in the wrap out with your segment, please tell us a little bit of how people can get in touch with you.
Basically, vibrationfrequency.com. You go to Michael at breatheinfinity.com. Come to our studios at 740 Centinela over here in lovely Inglewood, California. And, catch the vibe, but get into the frequency, the consistency, the
Download that
brilliancy.
frequency and feel the vibe. But again, though, man, but like when you kick back cannabis, it does relax you for one, especially if you're smoking an indica. I would prefer an indica.
I'm a sativa man.
But for sexuality, you would like sexual intercourse and all that. You deal with sativa.
It doesn't matter if I get high, man. I'm good.
I just think that okay, for example, a Girl Scout cookie, which is like 60% indica, 40% sativa, so you're gonna get the body high and the head high. That does it too for me as well.
What's that brand called?
Girl Scout.
I like Girl Scout. Yeah, I'm a Girl Scout cookie man.
Right now we're having some Purple Heaven right now.
Purple Heaven. I've been doing a lot of purple this week. Purple is good. It must be something in the in the cosmos. So I got to look at my chakra chart and we'll get back to you. But thank you so much,
that
Rich.
again. Your chakra chart. I guess
chakra
we'll learn more
chart.
about
What
that.
about cannabis
on Breathe Infinity?
Dealing with chakras and all that as well. Like, what's the infusion of that?
I've been smoking weed on and off for 30, 40 years. I've taken breaks. I've taken 5 years off. I've taken a couple years off.
What is that like?
Yeah, well, you just kind of clears out the system. Anyways, the whole thing is that there was a time when I used to smoke weed because it would get me deep into my meditation.
Right.
And I would feel like the asteroid belt when I would just glide through space, kind of like anti-gravity, and it would just get me into that zone very easily. So that was my routine. So that was one of the things that I like about cannabis. It definitely can get you in the zone if you allow the breathing, in this case, to help you. So I'm going.
It also has oxygen. I mean, it's an antioxidant too.
Oh wow!
Oxygen as well. So
I'm
it
learning
helps
more
on
and
all
more.
that.
Yeah.
Helps on many levels.
We know you got to go, Mike, and we appreciate the time that you joined us here on the show for the first time. And we want to have you back as an expert.
And I want to show some clips.
Area.
So, because we got to see what I'm talking about.
But hold on, Michael. We're not an X-rated show, so we're going to have our editors clear your clips before you show them here.
I got a PG rated version.
Only kidding.
I got an under 18. I mean, under 18
We
version.
can put that on the show.
Very good.
It's sexual education.
That would be cool.
Okay.
All right. So, Mike, thank you, man. You want to give any plugs on how people can?
I just told you, vibrationfrequency.com. Go to Michael at breatheinfinity.com as far as the email is concerned, and definitely come over here in Inglewood, California, off of Centinela, next to La Brea.
All right.
It is. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. From
Thank
Michael
you very much.
Norville, CEO of Vibration Frequency Studio. And this is the Frequency Network. You dig? That's something new that I'm pointing on the show today. The Frequency Network. You dig? Something like that.
I love it.
More from the Marijuologist right after this. Please stay tuned and tell a friend.
Can't
You dig?
remember if I smoked it all with company. Gotta admit the memory ain't nothing what it used to be. Oh well, that's me. I need some weed. Can't hit the shop, it's too early. Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up? Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up and not leave enough?
If an emergency happened or something like that, the only thing I'm packing is food in a sack. Cause it's mandatory that I gotta be stoned. Like Ice Cube said, once again it's on. It's a fucked up feeling when you're California fiending. If you smoke blood, you know exactly what I'm meaning. Open up your drawer and you trip cause it's empty. But the night before you could've swore you had plenty. With no connects and don't know what to do. So you try to drink a 40 as a substitute. But it doesn't feel the same as that Mary Jane. Creeping up real slow, marinating my brain. And I I've been at the bottom feeling just like a peasant. Saving all my roaches and scraping up my resin. I smoke so much weed that I sweat THC. A day without herb, I can never let it be.
Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up? Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up and not leave enough?
They're still going to remove from society many of our more annoying citizens permanently. First group, drug addicts. Not all of them don't get nervous. Not going to bother first offenders. People deserve a chance to clean up. Everyone will get 12 chances to clean up. 15. That's fine, and that's it. If you can't make it in 15 tries, off you go to Colorado. A perfect place for staying loaded. Each week, all of the illegal drugs confiscated in the United States that the police and DEA don't keep for their own personal use will be airdropped into Colorado. And everyone can stay wasted, wired, stoned, bombed, hammered, smashed, and shit-faced round the clock. This is the real Rocky Mountain High.
Marijuana is something they need to legalize. For medical reasons, cause it's helping so many people's lives. It helps me free my mind inside these evil times. Trying to adapt when you're trapped behind enemy line. Anyone that smokes will meet me up at Pomona Park, so we can gather up enough for a 10 million Minnesota march. We're gonna have a big ass smoke out on Capitol Hill, so they're legalizing 420 and passing our bill. They check my phone, they try to shut me down, they spit my dome. Cause over 50% of the population's getting stoned. It's really stupid to make something that's illegal when it's being used by over 75% of the people. Can't get a decent stable job without having to pay some more. Pray to God that my Wizinator didn't break a clog. And now I'm really fucking hating this law. It's not even a big deal. Why you even breaking my ball? You don't understand why. And you can see it in his eyes. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I said we wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. We wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized.
Marijuana affects the memory.
We call this kid the after-school special smoker. He spends all of his allowance on reefer. Thanks, little buddy. Now, in the next room is father, and I'm 40, but I'm still cool smokers token up, trying to figure out a way to bond with his son. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? Of course, across town, the kid's Nana's smoking up, trying to ease her glaucoma.
And it's good for arthritis, too.
It's just a little herb, oh, it's just a little herb star. It's just a little herb star. Oh, I've been saving. Oh, I've got time for raving. I'll rave all night long. Oh, I've got time for feeling good with all my brethren. We like to feel so irate and to ease our mental state of mind. We're smoking sensei. It's just a little herb. It's just a little herb star. It's just a little herb star. I've been saving. Gave me no chance. Oh, as I left the dance, they stopped me and searched me and asked me why, as if smoking is a crime. It's just a little herb. floor. My little herb store. Officer, it's just a little herb. Oh yeah, it's just a little herb store. It's just a little herb store. I've been saving. Ooh, just a little herb. It's just a little herb store. It's just a little herb store. I've been saving. That I've been saving. That I've been saving. All night, alright. Smoke with my brethren and feel alright. Oh, now. I've been saving. I've been saving.
GA Mafia.
Calm down, calm down.
Well, like to welcome you on this other side. As long as you're real and you're ready to ride. Cause it's nothing but a mafia thing. It ain't nothing but a mafia thing. Nothing but a mafia thing. It ain't nothing but a mafia thing. Set to explode, fully reload if needed. Most wanted, so sure of immediately. Like for the scene, get them hooked like Kareem. I've been on it since the 90s, having mafia dreams. Music is marijuana, manufactured up in the studio, respected just like a dawn through God. That's how I'm moving, they grooving up the injection that was shot. Call it heroin, spit at them cowards that I'm burying. Oh yeah, it ain't nothing like this mafia thing, man. I live what I preach, real mafia business. The black label strategize on the next chess game, real life. Hold on.
Everybody else is, matter of fact, everybody out there, all you cannabis heads and enthusiasts, advocates, make sure you always stay up on your laws, rules, and regulations of what's going on. Because laws change a lot, and still a lot of holdups and hang up, I should say, on all this applications and licensing situation. You know, a lot of us really don't know what's going on because it's like it's like a mystery, you know what I mean? They think when they have it, they don't. I don't, or it could be a ploy, it could be a game plan to see how many of the SEP people are not going to be involved, and you know it's a numbers game. So people turn out in large volumes. Yeah. Nope. Jesus Christ. This is the show that we're doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. But anyway.
Once again, welcome back to the Marijuana.
Like I was saying, though, so stay up on all your laws and regulations and rules and all that. Be responsible with the cannabis. There are a lot of states that are being legalized now, and I suggest people get up on what's going on so you'll know. Don't just dive straight in, head in first, and not know what's going on just because you have funds, money, and you want to just, I can get a dispensary. But there are way more levels to this whole new industry that's burgeoning than just the flower. You have the ancillary companies, you have different branches and variations of work and employment and product, I should say, to bring to the table. So this is where the thinking comes in, because it's a new, brand new. It's like they had the gold rush. It's the green rush. So it's a brand new, wide open, like I said, incoming industry. So dive in, people. Get in where you fit in. Know what's going on. Attach yourself with the moving advocates, the moving companies that are right. Do it the right way. If you do what's right, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. So get with the program, and it's new. Get some parties going, some events going. Go to seminars, study, do whatever it is to be successful in this cannabis movement, because it's very serious. A lot of people still have the stigmatism on the way it used to be. But I've had friends that tell me that they're not, part of the scene or everything like that. And I'm like, I respect that, because it's not for everybody. But I guarantee you this, as time goes on, a lot of those same people who speak and say that they're not part of these scenes eventually will be a part of the scenes, because they're going to be an element or something that you're going to need. Not something bad, but there's going to be an element that the obituates and opiates.
Say big pharma as a whole.
Big pharma as a whole, that some of that stuff is not going to be able to do for you, or it's going to turn your kidney and livers into a rubber band. You know what I mean? And so,
and when we say big pharma as a whole, we're
in the
talking
pharmaceutical
about
companies,
that rabbit hole that cannabis helps you avoid, by understanding how cannabis applies in so many ways to different things that ail you.
Because you have athletes. You have athletes, right? And some of my friends are athletes, and they're going to learn as they get educated and research more, or it's going to be one of those people of influence that's going to reach them. Because sometimes a prophet is without honor in his own home and in his own hometown.
Say that.
Remember that.
Say
so
that.
Sometimes you got to take somebody else to tell people that is close to you what the real deal is. But as long as they get it and somebody reaches them, that's all that matters. I mean, it kind of like feels funny and awkward when they don't hear you as the person close to you or to them. But as long as they get it, that's the best gift. As long as they get it, knowledge, and then use the knowledge. So CBD alone, if they research that, you'll see that it helps kids. I would hate to have some of my friends have ailments or something in their family where they have to resort to that. But in the event, if they resort to it, they're going to find out that, wow, all this time. Then they're going to look back at me and be like, wow, this is what he was saying. Because I was telling them it's not about just like flower. It's not about, stoner, being a stoner. None of that. It's the efficacy of this, the knowledge, the power in it. Yes, we do like to smoke.
The opportunities.
Yes, we do like to smoke.
Billions.
Yes, we do like to medicate. But look at me now. I just medicated on the show. Now, do I seem like I'm just...
Are you high yet?
I'm very mellow.
Are you
I'm very mellow.
high?
Very mellow.
Yeah.
But I'm the same guy. I'm not here tweaking and, twitching and, going crazy. And I see the camera breathing at me. And no, they're looking. They're watching. They're watching. They're watching. Of course they're watching.
To be fair, even right now I'm watching. I thought I was high. Watching.
Right.
No doubt.
We're wearing holes in our head because
we have green screen effect.
If we can roll back a little bit,
so it's not enough.
I've got to say who I am, and I haven't been on camera for quite some time. I'm Richard Carr with the Marijuologist, and for the first time, and in fact, to the delight of all my lady friends out there, what's up? I'm back on camera finally, right? And I want to represent a couple of brands. First of all, the reason you see bricks behind my head with that cross in my head, see-through, is because we on green screen now. So we're producing some real crazy, cool green screen content, number one. Number two, I want to thank Wardrobe tonight for blessing us, first with my hat, green tees, hats, and
green crosses.
Apparel, green crosses, hats, and apparel. T-shirts and hats. Get in touch with Equal to Wolf for more information on how you can get your own. Because every time I wear this, I get step 2. All right, number 2, I also want to thank Urban Alchemy for blessing me with my Superman costume tonight, and that's the shirt I'm wearing on camera. That's from my good friend Milan Rivera, who is the CEO, founder, and absolute genius behind the brand Urban Alchemy. He actually is the reason that I'm on the mic and on camera tonight, at least on camera, because he's covering the board. And
at
as
that
a
green
rookie,
cross.
he's not doing too bad a job.
Look at that green cross.
Yeah, so get closer to your microphone. And
appreciate
hey, bro, welcome to the show, man.
Look at that
Welcome
green
to the
cross.
Marijuanologist.
Thank you.
Look
you
at
for
that
having
green
us.
cross,
quite
right?
some
Good to
time.
be here.
That's standing out now. Look at that.
I'm
That's
impressed,
great.
Decor.
Electric green
I'm
cross.
impressed.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I've just impressed Richard Carr
I'm
on The
deeply
Marijuanologist. Fit.
So welcome to our new secret lair. This is Vibration Frequency. You'll be able to watch us now each and every Friday at 4:20 p.m. Pacific here on vibrationfrequency.com.
Vibration.
I need to smoke some ganja
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
and make my lips work again.
Make him relax a little bit and have the palate and tongue correctly
Yeah, very good.
enunciate.
I'm feeling good. And I'm happy to be on camera, man, because it's been so long. Real talk.
You always
I had
been
a
the
chance
voice
to be
off.
on
You always
camera.
been the voice of God off the camera. And who's
Oh,
that speaking?
that-
Is that God?
I'm not going to take
speaking
that
us?
much credit, but I will say I'm really
You are
happy to be
God,
back
son.
here.
You are God, son.
I want to
You're
small
godson.
G, small G, small
You're
G,
godson,
son. We got New York representing behind the
godson,
boards
son.
tonight. My man Mayline Rivera, he gonna be on camera or
Son
rather
in them.
on mic a little bit
That's
later.
son in them, son.
I want to thank Michael Norville for joining us on our show tonight. We're gonna have him back. He had some situations and he couldn't spend as much time with us as we would have liked. But I got to tell you, he is a guy we're gonna want to really go down the rabbit hole of his ideas about breathe infinity, vibration frequency, why he references these types of words. My new awareness led me to understand that words form the dialogue. So why this is vibration frequency and why he has his new project, new show, and a new curriculum called Breathe Infinity. So stay tuned for more of that as well.
That all ties in with cannabis as well.
As well.
You know,
That's the
I want
part
to
I
send
want
a
to get
shout out to
them about.
Nuggle and Bob Waters over at
Thank you
Nuggle.
very
Send a
much.
shout out to Nuggle over there. If you're watching out there, Bob, what up, man? You know, and I know he's got some things to talk about when he comes back into the studio.
Comes back from where?
From the Sundance Film Festival.
Exactly. Nuggle was live and on location there, right?
Yeah, they sure were.
They had the bus, they had the rap bus, they had their own lodge, they had it all,
They had it all.
laid out, taking cannabis even more mainstream
Mm-hmm.
into the film industry because we already know what it is.
I was supposed to have been there. You know, I had made a great attempt to get there,
But
but
we needed you back here, so
yeah, things didn't go the way I thought they were supposed to go. But but things turned out great still, and
it's all good,
It
bro.
was a blessing that that I didn't go down there, but I'll be set up, I guess, for next year.
That's right.
You know, the game plan will be set in motion, and we go from there.
And you had one hell of a game plan, and I think this is a great time to start developing the dialogue about that. So next year, for the Sundance Film Festival, you'll be able to go down there, and that's all right. Yeah, we're just showing our logo. You'll be able to go down there with all of the facilities that make it great to be in the mainstream of cannabis and film, because you had a bus plan, you had a bus tour, you had it all laid out, and I knew that would be a great idea for next year. So, big ups to you, bro,
Right.
for putting it all together
Just
and
replicate that same motion,
That's all we gotta do.
next year.
keep it flowing.
Keep it flowing.
All right, so look, let's get back to cannabis and
Shout out to Joe's Limousine Service as well, too.
Oh yeah, let's not forget. Let's get back to cannabis and sex. I hadn't had a chance to weigh in on that topic as
Yeah,
you
we
guys
need more
brought it
women
up.
on this show for that as well.
Yeah.
I had reached out to Jane Green. Shout out to Jane Green. And
We
she's
anticipated having a beautiful young woman.
oh yeah, no
in our
doubt. And
studio
she
tonight.
was going to call in. She said I'll call in, but she's out in Atlanta right now on site, and she's taking care of a whole bunch of cannabis
on assignment.
She's on
In
assignment
Atlanta.
out there.
Is she
She's
really?
out there, right? And she's
She
out there.
stays on the go.
Stays on the go, and she's taking care of some cannabis procedures out there as well because Atlanta is now being legalized. So she's out there getting into the motion of that because she is from there, and so I know that's a great thing for her. Set herself and etch her, make herself concrete out there and make her mark.
And can we do it together? Let's give her an
Man.
official salute.
Yes.
A retired Marine veteran.
Yes.
So shout out to Jane.
Shout out to Jane Green.
Green, and I hope you're tuned in tonight. G.I. Jane or Jane Green?
Jane Green.
Jane
It's
Green.
Jane
Here we go.
Green.
Yeah. Shout out to you, my love.
Yeah. No
All
doubt.
right. So we have Milan, who's on the board tonight, chuckling at us like he thinks this is easy. We just make it look easy, homie. So what do you got to say?
It's not that at all. It's not
we
that
know,
at all.
we know.
Yeah,
Hey, Milan,
I'm
welcome to the
enjoying.
show.
I'm enjoying sitting back watching the show, and I'm watching it live.
I would hope
Just
you'd
like everyone
recommend
else
it to
is.
your friends, anybody who's interested in the cannabis industry. We have been on the air now going on 10 years. We are the,
Wow,
I believe, the
congratulations.
single longest running show that
Now we've had some of the greatest
for
guests on
global
there,
impact. Yeah.
no doubt.
So who are some
greatest
of the guests that you've been most proud of?
We've had Chris, the herbal chef, which is what is it? TAC, the herbal chef. Chris, the herbal chef, TAC, but he's on the #1 cannabis chef in the country, and he's been on our show. We've had Madmen, Daniel Yee from the big company, Madmen on our show.
Big
So
boys.
what did we learn from MedMen? They're one of the largest manufacturer. They're a manufacturer
Distributors.
as well.
Let's just say distributors.
Yeah, distributors more.
No one manufactures cannabis. We're talking about cannabis.
Well,
and all of the products that they sell that are non-flower based are sourced from local manufacturers. Yeah.
So you believe that a company like MedMen doing it?
I think I know where you're going with this question, but I'm going to let Ecor.
Within the structure of the cannabis industry and allows for more representation of
Oh yeah, no
of our
doubt. For just
community.
no
As
doubt.
far as I know, I mean, I've looked at the master. No disrespect to the company. I'm sure they're guests, but I haven't seen anyone of color of
That's
of
what I
our
was gonna get to.
community properly being
That's what we-
represented.
Oh, I
within
beg to
these
differ.
Within these larger, multi-billion-dollar build-out of manufacturing facilities and other things that are happening
Processing,
in the industry. Yeah,
social network.
You know, one thing about
so
it is
even if we're
backbone.
providing, say, equity for your ability to own or your ability to grow, they're limiting it. So in the sense of you may be able to grow as a private person, but can you really grow to the degree if I put enough money behind it? Can I also manufacture the way these pharmaceutical companies like Eva put the name out?
Go ahead.
They're out there right now in Palm Springs building a 500,000 square foot cannabis manufacturing facility, but with zero equity, social equity program involved. So that creates another problem, within. So how is companies like MedMen and
well, you got to realize this: they have some good infrastructure with with the idea of what they're doing. But the society we live in, outside of cannabis coming to where it is now, they've had other companies that are major corporations that had started out the same way and didn't do those that the same way that what we're talking on now.
Is
So my thing-
is MedMen do MedMen have a social program where they're giving
That's we spoke to them
impactfully
about
back to
that.
the
We spoke to
community?
them live on the air about that. Rich asking the question was, what do you see, in the growth? What do you see for the black community? Where's the opening, or to a certain degree, where's the opening?
Right.
Are you
black-
going to engage minority-owned
right
businesses, enterprises, in sourcing the diversity of product that
Especially
you
if
sell
they're
from your retail
especially if they are
locations? That
well
was the
qualified.
question. Yeah.
If they are well qualified and been able
But
to
what-
establish all.
So
all
I just want to
say-
interject this, because I love what MedMen is doing, and if
No
you
doubt.
haven't been to any of their facilities, I'd go in first, because the one thing you're going to see is a virtual Apple store for cannabis in terms of the diversity of product and the diversity of faces who greet you, who are very engaging, very knowledgeable,
Right,
and the way that the
right.
stores are laid out. Number one. Number two, when you said people of color, we must recognize
Well, I'll
the
also
fact that
recognize
Daniel
with
Yee
MedMen,
is a person of
I can't
color,
get-
and
I
he is
can't
the
get
vice president.
10 grams for
Right.
25.
That's all right, though. You
That's
got to
MedMen.
pay tax on it, and the days of you not paying tax
Yeah,
on
I like
cannabis
those
are
spots.
limited. You must know this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You want it
realize-
tax free, but that's over, bro. Tax
But
and
at the
regulate.
same token, I look at it like this: they don't have to if they didn't want to. That's their company.
They-
it just
being
makes
they being who?
If they
these
want,
companies,
no,
whoever.
if they want
What-
to be
what-
involved, if they want to have our communities continually support the product,
Mhm.
and once we find out there's a $1 billion industry being generated through our lunch, and what we purchase with a direct profit, not only illegal but in some ways immoral.
I got two things to say.
I don't know how up
If
to
you
date
could
you
be a
are with the
billionaire-
laws, but Ecor knows more about that. Go ahead,
Well,
Ecor.
we're not just talking about laws because
We're talking about a social equity program that was put into place and is regulated by the city.
Those laws, yes.
Right. Those laws.
Well, I'm saying I got like two.
And how are they approaching it? Because a lot of developers are just using these laws to build the very minimum.
I have two things to say about that. You know, like I said before, they they don't have to, which makes us just step up our
It's good
game.
marketing if you do.
Which
So I'm wondering whether it's just a marketing to go into our community, or
Of course,
whether
but
they're
my thing
genuinely
is-
interested in rebuilding our infrastructures using the $5 billion. How much does cannabis make per year now?
Well over $5 billion. But
it's going to be estimated as
20,
40 some billion by 2024.
So how much of that 40 billion is being directly invested?
I want to say none, probably. to be
Well,
honest.
wait, though.
But I won't say that. But
So
the
maybe,
same token,
maybe in future
we're kind of
episodes
all
we
over the
can-
place with the question.
But maybe we can, in future episodes, we can bring someone on that can
But
have
they
those
don't.
answers.
My thing
We
is
had him
that
on
just-
recently.
That makes us step our
From
game up
MedMen's
more.
perspective, but I'm sure there
Okay.
are other
No
African
doubt.
That makes
American-owned,
us step our
farmers.
game up. That makes us step our game up more.
Right.
If they don't want to involve us, then we have to get involved more. At the
Right.
same token, here's the other. Like I said, I have two things to say. Now, the other thing is a lot of times our community, and I'm just a witness because I'm a black man in our communities. A lot of times we be so oblivious and not even directed towards the opportunity that's presented right there. We don't even go for it. You know, a lot of times it's got to be thrown in our lap, and even when it's thrown in the lap, we still ain't. Oh man, I see people breaking their neck going to jobs every day, work that they really don't want to do when they could Uber or they could do something in the cannabis. You know, guys who can go get guard cars and become a security in the dispensaries to get cash money at the end of the day. That type of situation. But a lot of people just don't want to get up and do it.
They,
So
they
we
don't see opportunity for what it is.
right, and then we don't,
Or they
we
confuse
don't seek it.
opportunity with being opportunistic.
Or we
And
don't
that's
seek
the other
it,
thing that
or we don't seek it. So
Good
you
point.
know, so a lot of times it's there. You know, a lot of these companies are not going to go out and say, "Hey, knock, 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 knock. Hey, come here." You know, but it's there. We don't. It's a lot of time we have to open a book, open up something, read. But we want to go
Make
to
contact.
We want to make contact. But
Right.
we'll go right to Instagram, Facebook, you know, and jump all on that all day long. And there's opportunities on there, and people scroll right past it, want to see the next gossip.
I want to
So
jump.
it goes
I'm sorry.
a couple of different ways, you know.
I want
about
to jump
when
in
it
real
comes to the
quick.
social equity situation.
And I
with
asked
these
both you
companies.
guys about when you talk about social equity, you've got to talk about sourcing when it comes to what is, you know, a mercantile industry. This is merchandise.
Mhm.
This isn't just
mercantilism.
Right, exactly. Now infused into the mainstream of capitalism. But all that said, I want to ask both you guys, how do you see that playing out politically? You know, Kamala Harris has come out for cannabis. More and more states throughout the country have legalized it either recreationally or medically. Do you think we're applying ourselves to these opportunities that are already in place, being set up, being
Yes, we
legislated
are.
in all these different places? Are
It's
we
a handful.
applying ourselves
It's a
properly?
handful.
Are we stepping up to the plate?
It's
to
a
those
handful.
opportunities?
I mean, out here where you know you've been to some of these events and seminars and stuff of that nature with me. So there's a handful of people out there, but as a whole, the people that I know that's involved in cannabis of our color, so far removed from the things that you know, like
Stay on your mic.
they're so far removed from the things
Right.
that I'm on mic. They're so far removed from the things that are events and stuff that we go to, but yet they're still involved in cannabis. You see what I'm saying? So many different compartments and levels to this, to the cannabis thing. But a lot of that level is still street, underground.
How much are we stepping up? How would you weigh in on that, Milan?
I think what's happening is two things. One is we mentioned seeing the opportunity. I think a lot of people are approaching the opportunity from an opportunistic standpoint, and when you do that, then of course you're gonna run into problems because there is no real social value behind that. But that being said, second, I have seen a rise in people who would not ordinarily have invested in the cannabis industry now take part of it, whether they've been in the community. In fact, there's a church organization that have banded together to buy into, whether it's licensing or dispensaries in some way, branch to be a part of that chain from the creation all the way from seed to sale. to be involved in somewhere in that chain where we can benefit. Now, they're one of the few people that are looking at it, and I believe they are called the Green Believers. They're just one organization that has of unlikely sources of people who see the value in this as a growth industry, and early on. Now, that's just one group. I mean to say that there are entrepreneurs who are now looking at the cannabis industry differently, because we're now realizing how many of the laws were first put in with racial bias, how many of the laws were put in with all of these, whether we're talking back to Lee Ansler and the CIA and all these type of FBI involvement in criminalizing cannabis in the first place. So now all of those obstacles are removed, because thanks to Google, every generation is getting more and more detached from that narrative. And so they're looking at cannabis as an everyday, no different than I can now, if I want to go get a beer, I should be able to go into my liquor store and get a beer, because beer and that process has been a part of my life my entire life. So they're looking at cannabis the same way. I come from third generation cannabis, where if you, other than being respectful at your grandmother's house, we all had a separate home, a separate space in that garage where everybody knew, everybody that's on this is where we at, and,
right here.
And you chief one out. But that generation has now grown up with a healthy attitude towards the cannabis and a healthy attitude towards entrepreneurism. And so now we want to know, okay, yeah, well, now we know where to buy it, but this was the last little bastion of hope I used to have when I was struggling. I used to be able to sell a bag of weed or two and get by. But now that this industry is taken over by the billions, where can I fit in that? Now that you've taken that part of my income off the table, well, now how can I look at it where I have a healthy attitude? I'm not hemmed up by your laws. I'm not hemmed up by your religion, kook, or whatever you want to add to it. That whole generation is now voting. That's who Kamala Harris is appealing to. Those are the people that, if you're smart, you'll know that every generation over 35, hey, they don't really care about cannabis law. It was the old structure that was trying to hold power for a very long time through hemp or other industries that they've always tried to hold power on. Well, those powers are now shifting. So yes, there are equal opportunities now if you know where to look. More importantly, there are equal opportunities when you have your business properly structured and following, say if there's a state guideline or being in compliance with, you have to have certain licenses. Well, go ahead and spend that money. If you want to play the game to that level, you can get a group of investors that will put up $100 a month just for you. If you get 80 investors, you've already got your $80,000 over 12 months, and it doesn't take long investing in the right area.
Right.
But most can't see the opportunity for what it is. Instead, they approach it like, oh yeah, we gonna get in there and get licenses. No, it is a step-by-step process.
Yes.
And you can still hustle on the side if you're smart. Nobody's saying you can't, but you have to know both sides of the game. And here's a unique opportunity to do that. And again, politicians are being attracted to that. They understand that in order to attract this new younger voter that thinks that way, they're going to have to.
They see the money,
it's been normalized,
and they see the money as well.
Yes.
They see the generation of the money and how much it can do.
If it can bring in ultimately what's in with politics, and I've learned
the money's going to help their campaigns.
I've learned this more within the last year. Now
the money helps their campaign.
Yes and no, because what's happening now is a detraction. They're stepping away from that old school super PAC kind of way of thinking.
Of course.
And they're now marketing themselves as this real grassroots. Hey, if you want to see me win, send me $5. And people are being attracted to that because that's like, whoa, that's my girl. She's going, and that's been attractive to voters. But what's also happening, look, I don't want to, I feel like I'm monopolizing this. You guys are on camera. I'm not.
You just should have sat over here.
I should have just sat on that
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
We'll do that in the next segment. Maybe we'll go into
we can take
it more.
a break. Maybe
and
when,
we can
when
finish
you're
this
ready. Yeah.
conversation,
How about we
on
do
air.
that? How about we take a quick break and
take a
we'll transition? Can you get some music going for us?
Well, it sounds
Anything
like
you
it was
want
a caller anyway.
We're gonna go.
That was like a call in.
We got a call in. All right.
And that was more like a call.
It was, yeah.
Remove from society.
And then just take us off cam. And ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to a live episode of The Marijuana, the world's only show that gets to the root of the medical cannabis movement. I'm Richie Carr, Equal to Wolf, Milan Rivera. We'll be right back after this. Tell a friend.
Right. 12 chances to clean up. 15. That's fine, and that's it. If you can't make it in 15 tries, off you go to Colorado. A perfect place for staying loaded. Each week, all of the illegal drugs confiscated in the United States that the police and DEA don't keep for their own personal use will be airdropped into Colorado. And everyone can stay wasted, wired, stoned, bombed, hammered, smashed, and shit-faced round the clock. This is the real Rocky Mountain High.
Marijuana is something they need to legalize for medical reasons, cause it's helping so many people's lives. It helps me free my mind inside these evil times, trying to adapt when you're trapped behind enemy line. Anyone that smokes will meet me up at Ramona Park, so we can gather up enough for 10 million men slaughter bar. We're gonna have a big ass smoke out on Capitol Hill, so they're legalizing 420 and passing our bill. They check my phone, they try to shut me down, they spit my dome, cause over 50% of the population. It's really stupid to make something that's illegal when it's being used by over 75% of the people. Can't get a decent, stable job without having to pay some more. Pray to God that my Wizinator didn't break a clog. And now I'm really fucking hating this law. It's not even a big deal. Why you even breaking my ball? You don't understand why. And you can see it in his eyes. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I said we wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. We wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized.
Marijuana affects the memory.
We call this kid the after-school special smoker. He spends all of his allowance on reefer. Thanks, little buddy. Now, in the next room is father, and I'm 40, but I'm still cool smokers token up, trying to figure out a way to bond with his son. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? Of course, across town, the kid's Nana's smoking up, trying to ease her glaucoma.
And it's good for arthritis, too.
It's just a little herb, oh, it's just a little herb star. It's just a little herb star. Oh, I've been saving. Oh, I've got time for raving. I'll rave all night long. Oh, I've got time for feeling good with all my brethren. Socialize. We like to feel so irate and to ease our mental state of mind. We're smoking sensei. It's just a little herb. It's just a little herb star. It's just a little herb star. I've been saving. No chance. Oh, as I left the dance, they stopped me and searched me and asked me why, as if smoking is a crime. It's just a little herb, whoa, just a little herb star. It's just a little herb star. I've been saving. He asked that man my name. He asked me if I knew I had something that I shouldn't. He turned my pockets out. He turned them inside over. And then it fell onto the floor. My little herb star. Officer, it's just a little herb. Oh yeah, it's just a little herb stuff. It's just a little herb stuff. I've been saving. Ooh, just a little herb. It's just a little herb stuff. It's just a little herb stuff. I've been saving. That I've been saving. That I've been saving. All night, alright. Smoke with my brethren and feel alright. Oh now, I've been saving.
It's time to get crunk. Why don't you go and light that shit up? Break it down, roll it up and spark that shit. 1 puff, 2 puff, 3 puff lit. Smoke that OG Kush. Mix it with some heat and make that shit gush. Keep it flowing, blow your smoke into the air and let it sit in the atmosphere. Now let's turn it up a notch. Keep on smoking cause the party don't stop. Come and elevate your mind, come and get with this. It tastes so good with just one hit. Now the whole room smelling like skunk. Through this new breed we call it funk. Mastermind is hot in this weed, come and get with me. All day's happy hour when you're smoking trees. I bust that switch shut down. Then I go and take the dirty guts out. Then I stuff my blunt with some green, mix my moon rocks in. I got what you need to make your whole head spin. Now I'm floating in outer space. Come get a glimpse, get another taste. Got that green, that gas, that dope, that weed. Any kind of ganja, I got what you need.
Roll it up, light it up, pass the blunt, can't get enough. Roll it up, light it up, pass the blunt, can't get enough. Pass that digit to the left, that perk make you feel in yourself, make you boogie all damn night, cause that Mary Jane is right. Pass that dirty to the left, that perk make you feel in yourself, make you boogie all damn night, cause that Mary Jane is right. We got that fire, fire, to take you higher, higher. The type of weed that don't expire. Cheech and Chong, no Richard Pryor. We got that fire, fire, to take you higher, higher. The type of weed that don't expire. Cheech and Chong, no Richard Pryor.
That skunk, that fire, that green. Combine the music and the weed indeed. We got the choke, yes indeed. The beat to match the blunt, ooh wee. It's about time we get started. 420, don't be tardy to the party. Bring your ass, bring your cash, bring your bong loads. Take a toke to your choke, grab a stronghold. Let's get it crackin', crackin'. That berry Dutch we pack it with them fat nuggets. Come get a taste, you'll love it. It's about time we get started. 420, don't be tardy to the party. Bring your cash, bring your ass, bring your bong loads. Grab a hold to your choke, grab a stronghold.
Roll it up, light it up, pass the blunt, can't get enough. Roll it up, light it up, pass the blunt, can't get enough. Pass that digit to the left, that perk make you feel in yourself, make you boogie all damn night, cause that Mary Jane is right. Pass that dirty to the left, that perk make you feel in yourself, make you boogie all damn night, cause that Mary Jane is right.
It's time to get crunk. Why don't you go and light that shit up? Break it down, roll it up and spark that shit. 1 puff, 2 puff, 3 puff lit. Smoke that OG Kush. Mix it with some heat and make that shit gush. Keep it flowing, throw your smoke into the air and let it sit in the atmosphere.
Roll it up,
it's time to get crunk.
light it up,
Break it down, roll it up and spark that shit. 1 puff, 2 puff, 3 puff lit. Smoke that OG Kush.
light it up.
Keep it flowing, throw your smoke into the air and let it sit in the atmosphere.
To the left, that perk make you feel in yourself.
Oh yeah. In the background, the sounds of Miss Sammy B.E.E. And that's a little something she calls Roll It Up. Premiered here on the Marijuologist Show a couple of weeks ago. Had her live in the studio. Hope she's tuned in right now. And we certainly hope that you enjoy that. And she can be reached. Just check out Sammy, SAMMI, B.E.E. For more information about Sammy B.
No doubt.
Anyway.
And we want to send a shout out to Sammy B as well because she had a situation. We were supposed to shoot a video coming up February 5th, but she had to cancel out because her sister was on life support.
Wow.
But great news. God is good because her sister is now off life support and back in the regular hospital room, and she's doing a lot better. And that's a great news right there.
Well, let's send her sister a rousing round of applause and to Miss Sammy B. We love and support you.
She just may be up here tonight for the Wolves Den later on.
I hope so.
Because matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, tonight
let's take some moment out and plug the Wolves Den.
This is Black History Month, so we want to send a shout out to Black History Month. As you see my shirt, I got Black History.
Closer
month,
to your
it's crossed
microphone
out.
there, young fella.
Black History is crossed out. The month rather is crossed out, and it says forever on the bottom. Forever. Black History Month.
Lean into your
crossed
microphone
out
and say
forever.
that.
You know
Say
what
that
I'm
with your
saying?
chest.
So anyway, send a shout out to Manny Ford. Y'all go over there on Instagram, check out Manny Ford, and this is his shirt.
All right. Very nice.
So he's my young dog, my family member, and just want to support and represent Rocket for the month.
Round of applause there.
But tonight on the Wolves Den, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have for the whole month of February, we're highlighting FemCs. That's all lady MCs, which I like to call FemCs. And they'll be doing a cipher, which I'm starting my cipher summit tonight. And it'll be nothing but women, lady MCs, FemCs
I
tonight.
like the way you said
Spitting. They got their crews.
Nothing but women.
They got their crews coming up here tonight, and we going in. So y'all going to either, I don't know if I'm going to record it, tape it, or do it live tonight. Depends on how I feel. Depends on the vibe of the ladies when they get here.
How you feel?
We might just go live and just
And
catch
why
it in the
not?
moment.
Give the people what they want.
But
man.
you're gonna see different women up here spitting their bars, and this about to go. They about to go in tonight. So y'all stay tuned to vibrationfrequency.com, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and y'all gonna see some hot MCs
Right here.
MCs right here.
At the new home of LA Talk Live and the American Talk Live Broadcast Network. This is Vibration Frequency. Go to vibrationfrequency.com.
On the Frequency Network.
Download the vibe and feel the frequency, as we like to say here. On the camera and mic tonight, a rare guest, a friend of the network. I've been hoping to get this guy on the mic with us, Ecor, for quite some time. His name is Milan Rivera. He is the CEO and founder of Urban Alchemy. I'm repping tonight, wearing his T-shirt, and big shout to Wardrobe for that, and also to our good friends at Green Cross's tees and hats.
Red shoes.
So yeah, we kind of laced up tonight, looking good on the cam there, fellas.
Do with your bars on. She.
Word. Anyway, welcome back to the world's only show, explores the global impact of cannabis on California and the globe. The Marijuologist, 10 years and running. What the hell else can we say or need to say about who we are and what we do? Exploring the social, political, economic, medical, and ecological impact of cannabis. Milan, welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you. It was officially on camera now.
And welcome on camera for the first time tonight.
We had a good conversation going on just earlier.
Well, it's not the first time. He's just back on camera. He was on the show earlier.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, for the first time.
For this segment, I guess.
Actually, yeah.
He's in the
this
second
segment.
half of the
face
show.
to the voice,
He's in the
I
first quarter. He's the first half. We set him on the bench.
My man.
He's back in the game.
Just
Second
blame
half.
it on the herb. Me forgot. Seeing. All right, let's get back to the show. All right, so Milan, you know, before the break, and thanks to once again Sammy B, who provided us with some of that instrumental during our cannabis infused musical moment. Right. So
we're gonna go out with that too. You know what I'm saying?
All right, well, let's do that. Yeah. So prior to the break, we were deep in the discussion of social equity, and I think part of the conversation stems from the notion that big companies who are entering the cannabis market and doing it big owe something to our community in the way of social equity. Certainly the government has acknowledged that. City leaders here in Los Angeles have acknowledged that through a social equity program throughout California. In Oakland, that's popping off. But we also left off with the notion that, are we stepping up to the plate? Are we bringing our best game into the industry, and how that plays out among the small business owners, and will big pharma take over cannabis? I get sick of even hearing that conversation.
I know.
Oh, big
I don't
pharma's
never
going
let
to
none of
take
that worry me.
over, and once they get in it, no one's going to have an opportunity.
Well, there'll be an
Nonsense.
opportunity. There'll
Right.
just be new players at the game.
And let's talk about some of those new
And so
players,
that's
because you're working with
ultimately-
some of them.
No, what I mean is if people are now valuing it as a potential investment opportunity, then the pharmacies are now doing that. Then it allows, if they come in, it allows for competition, but it also allows for new entrepreneurs to be able to develop their own industries in order to compete with that, or to at least provide a necessary value on that chain of supply.
That's where all the ancillary companies come in,
Yeah.
So, I mean, big pharma or whoever, they
All right,
involved
so
in everything anyway, or
It
all
is a
these big
reality
corporations
show.
involved in everything anyway. So you got mom and pop stores that are surviving right now with all this corporations and all these things going on. 99-cent stores, corporate 99-cent stores. Then they got these.
That's my point, Ecor.
So I never really worry about the competition. I don't even look at competitions, especially being an athlete, former athlete throughout my life. I never really worry about the next entity, the next
Next best player.
I don't worry about that.
Right.
I just worry
You
about
just
what I'm going to
compete.
do. I'm going to worry about what I'm going to do because they're going to see me as well. They're going to see me.
So as our small-time cannabis entrepreneurs, cannapreneurs, we used that phrase many years ago here on the Marijuologist, talking to different entrepreneurs who were entering the cannabis industry for the first time. So are cannapreneurs afraid of success? By that I mean, are they scared to step? Are they scared to come out of the shadows? Are they scared to announce or at least file what they earn from the cannabis industry? Are they willing to be a part of the mainstream of the American economy? And that means paying taxes. So are we seeing that there's a problem with cannabis dispensaries here in Los Angeles who are afraid to step out into the limelight and become a legitimate business? And that's where the competition is, to me, really going to be created. When people stop being afraid of getting busted by the law or being found out, like these collectives right now, these dispensaries right now who are not charging tax on cannabis when you know that the law includes tax and regulate, come on, guys, you know you're going to get kicked in.
Eventually.
You know you're going to get
Getting last
raided.
little rent money going on.
And they're looking at you like, come on, dummy. You black, you fast track. There's a Johnny Cochran reference for you. If you're black, you on the fast track when it comes to opening a business in Los Angeles, a cannabis business right in your neighborhood. You know you don't have to go to Culver City or Century City and pay massive rents. And oh my God, I can't afford that. How do I get started? You can go down and rent the local bodega that used to be there. Or find
But
something in
here's-
your
okay.
neighborhood. So
Now, that's something.
Milan, I
that-
know you have some
Let's
insights
talk
on
about
this.
that because you mentioned two things. Well, you mentioned renting first of all, and the second thing was
Say that.
whether they're afraid of success. I don't know if it's being afraid of success as much as it is
Not knowing.
perhaps an absence of, say, financial literacy, of not knowing how to value your own work, and that can be placed not just on our community, but even say anyone who's an artist can identify with that. So anybody that's an artist can identify with that. The second thing is they're not. We need to understand better understand how investing works, and how we can apply that to bringing things back to where you came from. To
Well,
build back better.
a lot of us, excuse me, in our communities haven't been educated enough or taught. We've been only taught or showed how to spend money.
Yeah.
Not to acquire it and maneuver it. And then the maneuvering that we have learned is a survival tactic. It's just surviving in this society that we're living under and in.
But you said yourself, you're as an athlete, you're not really connected to what the other person is doing. But you do owe it to yourself, right, to see what the opponent, how he's
Oh,
built,
most definitely.
see where his
Most
weaknesses
definitely.
are,
Most
to see
definitely.
where you can best
Where you can-
adapt
exactly.
your speed, your technique, or whatever you need
Just
to do to get in and
watching.
win.
That's what I do.
And so all I'm asking is, I think for our community more is to do that, just that, to look inward in your community, find the genius in your community that's already developing these things, and don't hinder them. Meaning that there's a lot of kids that could have been fantastic entrepreneurs, whether in this in the cannabis industry or otherwise, in any industry, but yet the fear of failure, plays a part. The fear of success plays a part. There's a lot of what they call
It's a lot of factors.
yeah, but ultimately we want kids to be fearless, in the way they approach entrepreneurism.
But let me ask you a
they can
question.
approach any business like that.
But let me ask you a question.
And that has a lot to do with financial literacy. If you know how much your work is worth.
In the minority community that you deal with, and you're around minorities all the time, so am I.
Yeah.
I kind of base it off of, I don't hear these conversations in these homes or these circles or these, hoods that I'm in. You're not even hearing these. All you're hearing is the basic surface stuff like, hey, they legalizing it now, that's it, and then that be it,
Right.
And then when you are a pioneer or visionary and you speak on it, a lot of times it goes over the head. A lot of times, you're like an alien. Speaking.
I think it's funny. Every generation has this generation that, or this artist, or some, because we do hear it. We do hear the lessons, about whether we know it or not. It's usually found in icons of music or otherwise. It's usually not found in our families unless you happen to come from.
That's
like,
why I said earlier.
One of my
prophet is
families
without
that
honor
we're
in
kind
his
of
own
cool.
home and in his own hometown.
What was
That's
that?
why I said earlier. A prophet is without honor in his own home and in his own hometown.
Yeah, even Jesus had to get out of the way.
That's why exactly.
It was like, yo, that's James' brother, right?
They like, hold on,
that's
man.
Jimmy's brother.
They like, no, man, you the carpenter's
Man,
son?
come
Man,
on,
he used to live
man.
next door to me, man. You like, dude, I saw your man's walk on water.
for real,
dog.
he was a
I
shitty
saw your man's.
he might as well, man, he's a shitty
Like-
carpenter. He
like-
might as well did another job,
They
man.
like, what?
So
He wasn't
utterly
really good at building
sacrilegious.
shit.
They like,
and with
what?
that, we'll
Man.
wrap out our live.
They like, yo, man, Jesus. Like, yeah,
broadcast.
man, I saw him walk on water, dog. I'm telling you.
But tonight's live
but
episode of
ultimately,
About
he was a rebel. He had to think outside of his cause, but understand, maybe not be swayed by what's happening within the circle, to look beyond what's happening, to see that there's opportunities, whether your mom likes it or not, whether your Christian values dictate it or not.
Right.
It's up to your moral compass on how you spin this. Now, ultimately, it's been spun as criminalization, but now that's moved on. And so what there needs to be is more articulate conversations like you and I are having to discuss not just cannabis, but the lifestyle of, the same way someone can go into a store and get a beer and there's no problem. No one ever sees anything different about it. And the difference is, the only thing that happens when you just get really good at PlayStation. That's about the worst case scenario of smoking some bud. It's like
it's hilarious.
But I've never once wrapped my car around a tree. I've never gone, beat my wife and
Never stole from my family. They had
got
to go
so drunk that I ended up
stole
in
the
AA.
last of the money.
Now,
My kids' piggy bank.
not to diminish that, because this is not a crutch, but ultimately there's, we've grown up with such a healthy attitude towards it that we understand it as the plant, as the natural herb that it is, and we're now understanding that collectively as a culture, but we're not understanding it collectively as conscious capitalists.
And even the people that
You
smoked
see
it
what I
earlier,
mean?
no doubt about
You
that.
know?
No doubt about
We
that.
understand what it means, in theory, but we don't understand what it means in practice.
But a lot of people are being educated more. Even all the smokers who smoked way back in the day, who were before their time, so-called before their time, smoking the flower, they're even being even myself included, being educated even more now, understanding this flower way more than I did when we were just buying Reggie's Stress, with seeds in it and stuff. We was just smoking, the
We
good.
saw the evolution of this. We're just,
Oh, man.
just dumbfounded. Like, yo, this is
It's
the dude.
amazing.
Dude used to, in New York, I used to have to go get it, and you had to slide open the door. And they had to slide in the door. You put it right there, and I had to throw the money, slide that shit back.
No doubt.
Straight old
No
school.
doubt. The
The
can come
that's
down.
your projects, man.
Yeah, the can come down. We put the
That's
money
the
in.
projects. That's the
Whatever
project.
you put the money
I didn't
in
even
there.
get that far. You had cans and
They
shit. Like,
get all the way out the window.
I
put it
never
there,
saw the
put it back up
intricate
on the
details
screen,
of it.
on the screen. Put it
Oh,
back up
man.
the window. And then your bag come back
all
down.
I know
in
is
the
the
can.
motherfucker had an iron door with a fucking old school bolt that, you know, them project doors, them heavy ass doors
sure.
with the iron bolt that
Sure,
just
they through
hit
all
up
of
against the doors.
All
You couldn't
that.
bar that shit. If nobody
All
was
the
breaking
spots.
that in.
Exactly. I done seen it all. When it
But
comes
we've
to
seen
spots.
the evolution, and now all of a sudden we've seen uncles, we've seen our family members, we've seen people not only get criminalized for it, but go to jail, have to spend time at the detriment of their families, lose jobs, with zero payback, to now see a $1 billion industry develop all around them with no value to it to them.
I mean, giving
even though
guys-
they've spent 5-6 years behind bars for specifically possession of marijuana, possession, you know, of cannabis, of what now is a $1 billion industry with zero social equity involved. Now that's something that needs to be addressed.
And we're going to do that right
Yeah,
here
I'm-
in
I'm-
the
I'm
coming
one.
months.
I was one.
It's Black History Month. It's Social Equity Month. Black
February
folks, stay
1st.
tuned. We're going to be bringing some leaders from our community, from our people, from our own, who are going to help educate you on how to take advantage of the great opportunities that are available through social equity. Guys, I want to thank you both. Before you leave, nobody get up and go.
No doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Michael Norville for joining us
Yeah,
here
I'm sure.
early in our first segment of the Marijuana tonight. Also want to thank Milan Rivera, and of course, always my co-producer and my best friend, E. Quarter Wolf. Stay tuned. Listen, we're going to replay the Marijuologist, but at 8 p.m. tonight is a live episode of the Wolf's Den. Give them one more plug before we go, Wolf.
Yes, tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in. Stay here. Just 2 hours from now. So vibrationfrequency.com. I'm going to have some hot artists, hot MCs, all women tonight. And for the whole month, I got legendary DJ Silky D. She just called me. I couldn't talk to her right now, but she just called me. But she'll be the resident DJ for the whole month, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a blessing to have her. You know, so all you ladies that are out there watching, tune in and watch these ladies get down and represent womanhood. All the MCs representing womanhood. We highlighting the woman, because without the woman, I wouldn't be here right now. This brother wouldn't be here right now, or that brother over there wouldn't be here right now. You dig? Or any of those women wouldn't be here right now. So let's send a shout out to all
8 p.m.
of us.
Pacific tonight.
8 p.m.
live
Pacific
episode
Standard Time
of the Wolf's
at the
Den.
Wolf's Den. You did. I'm gonna send a shout out to my homegirl out there in Hanover,
Longest
out there in
rap out
Germany.
on earth. What the hell?
Yeah,
Let's
my
get out
homegirl
of here.
Angela out there in Germany. Shit. Thanks for tuning in, mama. You know, Bridge get well. She's been sick, everything. So I want to send a shout out to Bridget.
No doubt.
Get well. And send us out to my moms and and everybody. LA Talk Live, Rich, Milan, Michael Norville, and we out of here, y'all.
Instant. I mean, instant.
I've always looked at cannabis as being medicine.
People say you get high. You don't get high, you get medicated.
I'd like to see it so that, you know, people aren't criminalized over something that's medicinal.
It's a God-given plant. We should all be able to use it. It's real medicine.
Medication. Your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine. Elevation. Your medication makes me high.
Such a short way up and such a long way down. And this is a bubble like where they are right down. The way you're something off it off your way by pound. In a fields of marijuana, that is my playground. I love you, Mary Jane. You're the prettiest of flowers, girl, me can't complain. When I'm with you, I feel so high, I rise above the rain. And you know the people damage like that bitch cocaine. No, I leave them lonely, feeling only pain. Cause your DNA is of the highest strain. Your effect is so potent, it's so insane. You so gummy and sticky like a plaster stain. When you grind out your body, only stems remain. And to love you is so risky, I might get detained. You always keep me flying on the highest plane. And anybody know will always proclaim.
Medication. Your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find
purples and blues. There's cured little kids and old women too. And I say to myself, what a wonderful herb. And I say to myself, what a wonderful herb. Look how Babylon stood up in. Them fight you for years, for your love only per man serve years. Babylon stood up in. Them fight you for years. I know the whole of them are buy shares. You should be a celebrity amongst any tree across the 7 seas for your energy, but you're an enemy, catching felonies for the remedies in your recipes. Your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine. Elevation. Your medication makes me high. Must see how you feel splendid indeed. With a little bit of black splendid in the weed. Appearance grow indoors, not a stick nor seed. And she never post ripe, it was a real slow speed. No fertilizer, natural baby feed. No cross-pollination, she's a real pure breed. Cultivated with love and she's not grown for greed. She's everything I want and also all I need. Medication. Your medication makes me high. Just be patient. I'm like a patient trying to find levitation. Run your fingers down my spine. Elevation. Your medication makes me high.
You're tuned in to Vibration Frequency, vibrationfrequency.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Vibration Frequency. Feel the vibe.
Hi, I'm Valerie Smart, inviting you into my new show, What Do You Think? Every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Here at vibrationfrequency.com. Like, share, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Or go to vibrationfrequency.com. That's Think Valerie Smart every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Download the frequency. Welcome to Vibration Frequency, vibrationfrequency.com. Follow, like, share, and subscribe at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Vibrationfrequency.com. Feel the vibe.